just beginning the process of making a loaf of sourdough, which is something I do regularly, sometimes every other day, sometimes a little bit less, but very regularly. It's a process that I really am passionate about. I love it because it's, once you master it, it's such an easy and enjoyable process. And I just love how few ingredients there are in it. I have my starter, which is like a pre-ferment. This is already fermented, so this is going to make part of the dough and kind of cause the rest of it to ferment, as it were. This is just flour and water and wild yeast from the air that causes the fermentation process. And then, so I put that in, and flour and water to make the loaf. Got my water here, and that's it. I just find it absolutely magic that you can get this beautiful loaf of bread from that. It gets me so excited. So I'm going to go about doing that now. And as I am doing so, I just wanted to talk to you about something else I've noticed about our society and the way that we're living now. Sorry, just getting my flour out. I think that things, particularly like food and wellness, have become really complicated and confusing. I'm just going to get my scales out. The amount of choice that we have, the amount of information that we have, but the lack of connection we have to our food, to our health, like a lack of knowing that maybe in previous generations we would have had, because it would have been much simpler. Everyone knew how to cook and to feed and nourish themselves and make things from scratch, and had a huge, probably most likely grew their food. And wellness, well, that wasn't something we thought about probably so much in those terms. That's a very modern kind of preoccupation, I think. But yeah, very few people now grow their food. We don't have time. We don't have the space. More and more people aren't even cooking their food, not proper cooking, they're heating things up. And the supermarket just scares me, and like the array of options and things that they have, just it feels really overwhelming for me. But because we have so much choice and we don't have any connection with our food, we don't know what to eat, and we don't know how to nourish ourselves properly. And the amount of information out there telling us how to do it is so confusing. And the same with the wellness industry. Yeah, I don't know what else to call it. But we are bombarded by information about how to improve our health, how to be healthy, to work towards wellness, all these concepts, all these ideas. And we need all this information because we're just not connected to it. We don't move our bodies in the way that we have evolved to do. We have very sedentary lifestyles, and yeah, we don't know how to look after ourselves anymore. No one's told us. No cohesive, I've put too much water in, no cohesive like framework for knowing how to eat, what foods to eat, and how to look after our body, like what our body needs. And as I say, there's so much information out there. We have not been told. We've not been told from when we were young how to live, basically. And this is to the advantage of some very powerful people out there, because it keeps us more under control, keeps us more in need of the food industry, because we can't grow and food and cook it for ourselves or prepare it for ourselves. 400 grams, there we go. And yeah, I just find it really, really scary. And it's the same with the wellness industry. Now, we're bombarded, as I say, from every angle with this diet and that diet, with this exercise and that exercise. We should be doing this, we should be doing that. Oh man, it's so confusing. What we need is one simple system that we can follow, and that we can follow, and we won't be so confused about what it is that we need to do. I feel really lucky that I found the path of yoga. Now, everybody thinks, or a lot of people think, that yoga is just holding these ridiculous poses that you see a lot of yoga influencers doing on sunny beaches and things. But it's not. It's so much more than the physical practice that we have come to know as yoga in the modern world. There's a whole framework of how to live, ethical guidelines, which are guidelines for ways of living that will allow you to have a calm mind. They're not commandments like a religion. And then we do have the physical practice and breathing practices and meditation practices and also guidelines on nutrition and what to eat. It has everything. Sorry, that's my dog chasing my cat, Bobby. So yeah, that was just the thing that I wanted to say today. Is I think that we need to simplify, and we need to reconnect much more with our health, with our diet, with the way that we live. We need to become much more self-sufficient and resilient, and much less reliant on food industry, wellness industry, but everything to be done for us. We need to learn to look after ourselves. And I think that's really important. And yoga can do all of these things for us. Not for us, it can help us to become more aware, to be able to step back, to be able to make conscious choices for ourselves, rather than being confused amid a sea of information. So yeah, that's my ramblings for today. And I'm just going to continue on with making my sourdough dough. I hope you have a lovely day.